Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe Shri Radhe Govind Radhe Shri Radhe 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 Radhe Govind Radhe Shri Gurave Namaha Bhagavat Charanaravinda Makaranda Milinda Mahanubhava. In the previous episodes of Chintana, we discussed what Rasopasana is, and we understood that Rasopasana means the cultivation of love, which is there in the name of Sri Krishna. And in order to cultivate this love, we understood that because love is the nature of Atma and not the body has Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, we have to reconstitute ourselves as Atma and start doing Rasopasana. So we will move further in the theory of Rasopasana. So last time you told us that we have to reconstitute ourselves as Atma, and this is called as Buddhi Yoga, because through intelligence we give up the identity with the body and identify ourselves with the Atma. And if we reconstitute ourselves, we'll be able to do Rasopasana.
No, we will not be able to do it, because only on the intellectual level we got Tattva Gyan, and we understood, aha, I am not this body, I am the Atma, I am the part of Paramatma, but in our practical dealing we will act as a body, because this is how we are used. Nature of the body is to become attracted to Prakriti, and it only knows Prakriti. Because the Buddhi, it tells Prakriti is relishable to you, and mind start desiring Prakriti, and senses are enjoying it. So this is only what our Buddhi knows. So now we got this Tattva Gyan, but still we are in the previous identity of I am the body.
So what should we do after reconstitution of ourselves as Atma? What is the next step that we have to do so that we can cultivate love?
Next step is actually playing the role of the Atma, of doing the activity of the Atma.
So you are saying that after saying to ourselves, I am not the body, I am the Atma, we should start living like Atma. We should start living like a Dasa or a Parikara. So how do we do that? How do we live our role, and how do we connect ourselves with the role? How do we attain our role?
We can illustrate the example in practical world through the example of wife.
A housewife.
So in her previous identity before he became wife, she was the frivolous girl and having her own taste and friends and desires and taste and the activities. But once she got into the relation with the husband, so she has to reconstitute or change that identity. And so now I am the wife, and these activities which I was doing and loving before, I have to give them up and accept the new role.
So you are saying that after reconstituting herself as a wife, she should do her karma of wifely duties, right? Every activity of hers should be in relation to that family, right? So, and then?
So then from the elders, like her mother and her mother of her husband, she got the knowledge or gyan that what it means to be wife and what is actually the role of wife. And what is the activity of the wife, which means karma, how to play that role, what the activity you should do, and which activity you should not do it, which activity you should renounce, because they are not in relation to the role.
Okay.
And
so anything which is not connected to her wifely role, you are saying that she should renounce it in order to play her role perfectly.
Exactly.
Okay. Then?
And whenever, due to the attachment and this previous being frivolous, whenever mind slips from the role, she should bring it back. That means dhyan, and focus on the role.
Okay.
So these are the four activities: karma of the wife or karma of the role.
Yes.
Jnana of the role.
Jnana of the role means knowledge about the wife, the role of a wife.
Yes.
Karma of the role means
activity of
the role. Very good. And next?
Next is sannyas, or activity which are disturbing that role.
Okay, which are not related to the role. Sannyas means she has to renounce that. And then? Giving up. So she mentally renounces. This is not my activity. Earlier I used to do, but now this is not my activity because I am living the role of a wife. Okay. Then after sannyas?
And dhyana means, in order to be focused on that role, whenever your mind slips and go to the another previous, you bring him back to that role.
Very good. Okay. So what happens if you follow these four things?
So actually when you start following these four things, you are practicing the yoga.
Okay.
Yoga means you are doing the sadhana of that role of the wife. Yoga means you are connecting yourself with that role or with your husband and the old relatives of him, and also playing your role as a wife.
Okay. So yoga means to connect, and yoga also means the sadhana that you do in order to connect to your role,
Sadhana
to live your
means
role.
practicing these four principles.
Four things, okay. That is also called as yoga. So if you do this, what happens gradually?
If you do this gradually, you are becoming connected. You are becoming connected with yourself, and you are actually able slowly to naturally play that role.
Okay, so you are gradually shifting from an ordinary woman to the wife. So you start becoming a wife by practicing these roles.
In the relation with the husband, she got to know his gunas and karmas, his activities and his what do you call
Qualities.
it? Qualities. So by knowing how he is sacrificing, how he is working and giving all her time and energy in order to give nice, comfortable life and protected life and peaceful life, so she develops attachment to him and slowly giving herself to him.
Okay. So if the husband is playing his role and protecting the family and doing everything for the well-being of the family, then the wife will be able to recognize those qualities. She is doing the artha bhavana of the qualities of the husband, and then that is getting cultivated into love in her.
Emotion, love.
Emotion, love in her. So when she is playing the role, the husband sees the qualities of his wife, and she is doing the artha bhavana of these qualities, and these qualities are converting into love for his wife. So that way both husband and wife, by playing their respective roles, recognize each other's qualities, and then they develop love for each other, and then
naturally play
their roles, and then they have a happy family life. Okay.
So from that loving relationship, they desire to have a child. So they made a child, and when mother start actually to know that she is a mother now, again she is getting these four kind of knowledges. So she is getting the knowledge from her mother and from mother of her husband, what it means to be mother, what are the activities of the mother, and from the doctor she got to know what activities you should practice in order to play the role of pregnant woman or mother. So what you should eat, what you should not eat,
avoid,
what you should do and what you should not do, where you should go and where you should not go, how long, how much you should work and how much you should rest, all these activities. So she get actually knowledge about the karma of the mother.
Okay.
And also from the doctor she got the sannyasa, what activity you should renounce.
Okay. So she gets the knowledge of what it means to be a mother, pregnant mother. And then she also learns what is her karma. So she does that karma, that activity of the role of a mother, right? And then she renounces all those things which should be avoided, and then whenever there is a possibility of her desiring something, which is according to her taste, then she will consciously avoid it because the doctor said no. So she will do dhyana by doing all these four activities. So actually in this case there is a difference between the husband, the wife role and mother role.
In the case of husband, she was having husband in the front of her eyes, so she could, deal with him. She could see what is pleasing, what is not pleasing. He can also tell to her. But now in the role of mother, there is no child. There is just seed inside.
Yes.
So she has to develop connection, or again yoga with the child. Has to develop artha bhavana of the child, thinking about child, and feeling. Here is my child.
Yeah.
Now he is 1 month old, my child, and this slowly grows.
So when she practices these 4 things which are related to the role of a mother, then gradually she becomes mother also. And then after that what happens, these 4 qualities become natural to her, right? So can you give an example how, before getting into the role, in order to get into the role you have to practice these 4 things. But after that they become natural to you. That karma, jnana and all these things become natural to a role. Can you give an example how they become natural to?
Mother is first gave up her own comfort and the things which she would like to do it, and which she was doing before. This is first second. She gave up her identity and accepts the role of the mother. So as much she has done this, that identity of mother becomes grown in her. So after child was born, so once, we can give small example. Once she, during the in evening time, she want to cook the dinner, so she brought the child in front of father, and he was watching the game, football game. So she asked him, please, if you can take care of him, I go and cook. So he said, no problem, I'm here, don't worry. So after short time, she heard some sound. And then she thought, well, he said everything, he will take care, so I should not worry. But then again, after a short time, again the sound repeated. So then she quickly come, and husband immediately, she was a little bit kind of disturbed. So, did I told you that I'm taking care, I'm here, don't worry. But she said, in any case, I want to see what happened, because something strange to me. So I just checked, and she opened the
diaper,
and it was full. So what she did, she nicely took the child to the bathroom. She bathed him, dressed him nicely, and give him a milk, and put him nicely on the same place when he was before. So now we can analyze how is it she was possible to do that, although she was removed in the kitchen.
She's always away in the kitchen, and she was not even seeing the child. Right. But then she, from there itself, she could assume that there is some problem with the child by the way that he was making the sound. So how was she able to do that?
So you see, this is the result of her practice, the role, before the child came out. First, she practiced in the connection with the child on yoga, and perfecting the role, doing everything, all instruction which doctor gave and the elderly. And she, before the child came, she already was grown or mature in that role. So when child came out, she was just naturally playing everything out of affection. So this mamatva develops in her, of mineness. This is my, and when you have a feeling for mine for somebody, whatever you do is just a result of that mineness. Nobody has to tell you.
Okay, so what you are saying is that after attaining the role of a mother, for her, the karma, the jnana of the role, which is that I am the mother of this child and I should be protecting her, and the karma of the role, which is to take care of the role, and then giving up desires other than her role, and focusing on the child wherever she is have become natural to her. So once when you practice karma, jnana, and sannyasa and dhyana, you attain the role. And once you attain the role, they become natural to you. You will very naturally be able to play the role. So how are you going to connect that to our sadhana, Rasopasana sadhana?
So this is what actually Krishna teaches Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. When he gave him the Buddhi Yoga, knowledge about identity.
Okay, the reconstitution of self. He gave that in 2nd chapter, when Arjuna was not able to play his role. And then?
So then after that he immediately started to teach him Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sannyas Yoga and Dhyana Yoga.
In 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th chapters. So he was teaching all these things. You are saying that he was teaching these 4 things so that after reconstitution of the self, as an Atma, as a Kshatriya,
he can role as a Kshatriya.
Very good, to attain the role of a Kshatriya. So now, in our case, now when we are reconstituting ourselves as a Atma, Dasa and Parikara. So how does this knowledge help us?
So now, when we got this knowledge, we have to put this knowledge into practice. We have to live that role.
Attain the role.
Attain the role.
So we have to practice the yoga also. Right.
So knowledge which we got about relationship with Krishna.
What is jnana in this case? In my case, as a devotee?
As a devotee, first I am the Atma, I am the Dasa, and I am a Parikara, or lover of Krishna.
Okay, then what is my karma? The activity of the role as a Atma, Dasa and Parikara?
Activity of the role is to serve Sri Krishna, to give him a pleasure.
And love Sri Krishna.
And love Sri
because Sri Krishna is my beloved and I am his lover. So to love Sri Krishna and to do seva of the Sri Krishna, to please Sri Krishna. Love means to please your beloved, and if he is happy, you are happy. Okay, that is your karma. And what is sannyasa in our case?
In our case, all our tendencies which are before, when they come and disturb that role, we do sannyasa of them.
We renounce them. We renounce them. These are not our desires. For example, if Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Madam, Acharya are coming, when we are playing our role, when we are doing upasana, then we reject them. And if we remember things which are related to the body, we reject them in our mind. And then what is the dhyana in our case?
So whenever my mind slips from the role and want to play some another role,
okay,
so you bring him back to the role.
For example, if I am trying to do a kirtan of Sri Krishna and try to meditate, do the artha bhavana, if the mind is not focused there, if it's going somewhere else, then I pull it back. Whenever it goes away, I pull it back. So this is, you are calling as dhyana. So if I practice these 4 things, what will happen to me? Just as in the case of wife and the mother, what will happen to me?
So when I actually start living the role, first what happened, I become connected with myself.
Very good.
So then I am able to actually play that role, which means that I will be in my sadhaka deha, I will be able to follow the instruction which my Gurudev gave me, so that I will be able to do activities with this material body, and in my consciousness I will be able to do artha bhavana of the name, guna, the law of the law.
Okay. So the more I practice these 4 things, karma, jnana, karma, sannyasa and dhyana, the more I attain my role as Atma, and because the subject matter of Atma is Paramatma, automatically I will be able to do Artha Bhavana, right? And because the subject of Atma is not the material nature, my mind will not go there. So I will be able to do Artha Bhavana and then cultivate that, get transformed into love in me, which you have explained in the previous classes, and then I relish rasa. So finally, to conclude this, what you are saying is that first, because love is the nature of the Atma, first you have to reconstitute yourself as the Atma, as a dasa and as a parikara, and then practice these four things. Jnana, which is the activity, knowledge of the, you have to constantly cultivate the knowledge of the Atma, dasa and parikara, and you constantly do that karma, and then you renounce everything which is not related to this role, and then whenever I am slipping, pull it back. So if you follow these four things, you gradually attain your role. And if you attain 1% role, then 1% Artha Bhavana you will be able to do, and then that 1% gets converted into love. So if we keep doing like that, if we keep practicing like this, it will go from 1% to 2%, 3% like that, and one day we will completely, even though we have a material body, we will completely act like as Atma, and then we will completely become a dasa and will completely become a parikara, right?
Just like a mother.
Just like the case of a mother or a wife, which the examples of which you give, we will be able to do. So now we can understand that because people are not reconstituting and following these four limbs of yoga, they are spending a lot of time in doing chanting and all these things. What is happening to them?
What is happening to them is that taste for material things remains, but taste for Krishna Bhakti doesn't come. Because we don't do first step, which is changing our identity from
Body to Atma,
and actually playing the role of the Atma, endeavoring to
constantly practice these four limbs and not move from your role. Whenever you are moving from your role, pull it back. What most people do is that they take diksha from their gurus, and then their prescribed whatever rituals, these many rounds of chanting, and rest of the time they are again acting like body, because of which they constantly get attracted to the material nature and they go according to their old habits. So in them, this cultivation of love is not happening, right? Okay, so that is why in sadhana, this is necessary, that you reconstitute yourself and then practice these four limbs of yoga in order to attain your role, so that you will be able to do Artha Bhavana, cultivate love and then release that love. And then which, if you keep doing like that, what happens? We attain that nature of bhakti which Narada Bhakti Sutra described. What is that?
Gunarahitam, kamanarahitam, pravartamanam,
Pratikshanam
pravartamanam.
Tailadharavad avacchinnam. Which means, Gunarahitam means the sattva rajastamo guna which are there in us, they do not affect us. They affect when I identify myself with the body. Now that through the practice of yoga I am becoming Atma, 1%, 2% like that, to that extent I become Gunarahitam and I become Kamanarahitam. Because Kama belongs to the body and I am attaining the role of an Atma, nature of an Atma, then I don't have any material desires in me, right? And third thing is that Pratikshana Paravardhamanam. The more I practice these four angas of bhakti, it keeps on growing, and it is Tailadharavada Vichinnam, means it is a continuous process, means every moment you will be engaged in bhakti only, and every second it is growing. It is not that for some time you are practicing, after that you are slipping again and going into material activities, falling down, doing sinful activities. This will not happen if you have properly reconstituted yourself and if you are practicing this four limbs of yoga. From all this, finally, we can conclude that the jnana that Sri Krishna is my beloved, I am the Atma, he is the Paramatma, is now getting converted into
mamatva, or feeling of minus.
So I now have the experience. When I do the Artha Bhavana and then cultivate love, I get love for Sri Krishna. Now I have the experience that Sri Krishna is the mine. And this feeling is called as mamatva. So the knowledge is getting converted into mamatva.
Feeling of minus.
And
karma gets converted into the seva.
Seva.
Which means desire to please my object of love, to please Sri Krishna.
Okay, to love also. Loving is also a karma. Sri Krishna is beloved and I am a lover. When I am a lover, when I love Sri Krishna, I am doing my karma also. So I started my activity as doing service to Krishna, cultivating love for Sri Krishna, and which is my karma, and that got converted into seva. I am loving Sri Krishna, I am able to do service to Krishna, I am able to do service to my Guruji naturally. And seva means doing the activity with a desire to please the beloved. So I will be able to please when the karma gets converted into seva after I attain myself, after I start living my role. And then
sannyasa, which I practice whenever other things come to disturb my role, turns into vairagya.
It turns into sannyasa is turning into vairagya,
which
means earlier I was in
I don't have a taste even for this.
Okay, so earlier when I was doing sadhana, I had the desires for the material nature, but I was rejecting them because I was trying to play my role. Now, after attaining yoga, after attaining my role, I don't have taste for those things at all, which means that my mind will not go at all, right? And next,
practicing of dhyan, or wherever my mind slips from the role and want to do other things, by practicing bring him back to the role, I develop engrossment in the role, engross it in my seva to Sri Krishna,
loving Sri Krishna. Very good. So what you are saying is that when I was doing sadhana, in order to live my role, when my mind was getting attracted to other things, it was deviating from my sadhana, I was pulling them back. Now that I have attained the role and I have swabhavika aruchi, natural distaste for that, my mind will not go there at all. And because Sri Krishna is my object of love, naturally my mind gets, whenever I take the name of Sri Krishna, Artha Bhavana happens very naturally, and then that gets converted into love, and I release that, and I am in a blissful condition.
You know, one thing is just like in an example of a mother. After she learns the art of practicing the role, because love is in the role itself.
Very good.
She starts living the role, because when you play the role, you got the emotion of the role.
Yes.
And similarly, when devotee starts to play his role, he is getting bhav for Krishna, the love of that role. He experiences it.
Yes. So as long as he doesn't attain the role, because the emotion belongs to the role, until he attains the role, he will not have any emotion. But the moment he enters into the role, automatically the emotion of the role becomes his emotion. Very good. You have presented everything nicely. And so we have understood how to practice living our role, attaining our role, so that we will be able to do Artha Bhavana and cultivate love out of that. And in our next episode, we will move further in Rasopasana and try to learn more things about it.
So this is what it means to have Rasika devotee or Rasika saint with you, because he will teach you from one step to another, first giving a proper tattva gyan, so that you don't understand things according to your mind, but he is framing your tattva jnana in a proper way that you properly understand, so that you can get experience properly.
Very good. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe Sri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe
Sri Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe Sri Radhe
राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
Shri Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe
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 Shri Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe
Shri Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe Shri Radhe Radhe Govind Radhe
लाडली लाल की जय।